Good morning, students. Hope you have spent the weekend following all the hygiene rules, social distancing, and are safe at home. Students, I'm sure you are all fond of listening to stories. So, today I'm going to tell you a story which will also give you a moral. Myself, Mrs. Naira Sheikh, I'm the class teacher of Standard 4th C Orchid, and I will be teaching you English 1. Our today's lesson is Aesop's Fables. Fables? Students, have you heard about the word that's called fables? What are these fables? Come on, I will let you know. Fables are short stories that have a moral or a message for us. Most of the fables have animal characters who think and act just like human beings. It is believed that many of the fables were first told by a wise person called Aesop. Our first fable for today is Stag at the Pool, lesson number 2. One day, a beautiful stag came to a pool of clear water. As he bent down to drink water, he saw his own reflection in the water. He was delighted with what he saw. Instead of drinking water, he kept looking at his own reflection. How handsome I look, he said to himself. How beautiful are my curving antlers. How they add to the beauty of me. How graceful they look. Then he moved nearer and saw his legs reflected in the pool. He was quite disgusted. Looking at my legs. Ah, they look so ugly. How spindly and small my feet are. How I wish that nature had given me legs worthy of my stately antlers. So, in this paragraphs, I'm sure you would have understood, students, that it is about a stag who was very proud of his beautiful curving antlers. Stags are deers, and looking at his antlers, he always felt very proud. When he went to the pool to drink fresh, clean water, he seen his antlers inside the pool, the reflection of the antlers, and he was very happy and very proud looking at his antlers. And when he went a little nearer, he seen his feet and he found them very thin, very spindly, and very ugly. And he was very ashamed looking at his feet. He felt that they are not worthy of him. And he prayed to God that I wish something would have happened, that my feet, my ugly feet, also would have been as beautiful as my antlers are. This is an image of the stag. See his curving antlers. See his color. Isn't it beautiful? And now he was so ashamed of this thin, spindly, ugly feet of his. As he was brooding in this way, the stag heard an arrow going swish across the pool. Arrows move very fast, so the sound of the arrow is as heard as swish. At the same time, he picked up the scent of hunters. With a quick turn, he bounded away. His legs carried him swiftly into the forest. The hunters were hot on trail, but they were no match to his speed. Soon the stag left the hunters far behind. So when he heard the arrows going crossing him, he was so afraid, the stag, that he ran for his life. He ran in such full speed that there was no limit to his speed, and the hunters could not match his speed as well. And he flew into the forest. This is an image of the hunter. He's trying to shoot the stag. And see the stag, the way he's running for his life to save himself. Safe and out of the hunter's reach, the stag slowed down. Suddenly, without realizing it, he walked into a thicket. There were many trees with strong branches growing close together, and alas, the same antlers of which he was so proud got caught in the thick growth. So while running, he did not see where he is leading to, the stag. And the stag got into the thicket. Now you'll ask me, what is thicket? A thicket is a bush where there are many bushes together. They're short trees that are stuck to each other. And they are very big growth of trees, because of which his antlers, of which the stag was very proud of, they got entangled into that thicket. This is an image of how the antlers of the beautiful stag has got entangled in the thicket. The stag tried to shake himself free, but the more he struggled, the more entangled his antlers got into the branches. Once again, the stag could hear the hunters drawing close, and he grew afraid. He was very scared now. He could hear the hunters coming, approaching towards him, coming too close to him. At last, with great difficulty, he managed to free his antlers and bounded away. With very great difficulty, finally he could manage to free his antlers from the thicket and he managed to run away and save his life. The stag now realized how that his ugly feet saved his life, but he was proud of his antlers, which could have been the cause of his death. So the stag, he used to hate his feet, he used to hate his ugly feet, but those same ugly feet of his had saved his life today. But the antlers, of which he was so very proud of, now could have been the cause of his death. So, students, what have you learned from this lesson? The moral of the story is very often we dislike the very things that are most useful to us. Things that are very, very useful to us. There are times that we dislike them, we don't like them, but they come to our need at the time when we really are desperately in need of them. Our second story is The Dog in the Manger. Once a dog was looking for a nice and comfortable place to lie down. He came to the manger of an ox and jumped on to rest. It was very hot afternoon. After a while, the ox returned from the field. The dog was sitting in the manger, relaxing himself as it was very, very hot and he wanted to take some rest. So he landed the manger and he was taking rest. While he was resting, he suddenly seen that the ox, who has been the entire day working at the field, has now come to have its hay, his lunch, in the manger. He had worked hard in the hot sun and was quite hungry and was planning to eat the hay that was kept for him in the manger. However, when he reached for the hay, the dog saw him. Standing in the manger, he began to bark out loudly. So while he was having his hay, the ox reached this manger and he went to have his hay, he all of a seen that the dog that was there, who was sitting on top of the hay there in the manger, was going on barking at him and irritating him and was not allowing him to have his meal. Standing in the manger, he began to bark loudly at the ox. Each time that the ox came near the hay, the dog snarled, barked, and snapped at the ox. Stop, he would allow the ox to eat his hay. Oxen are generally peace-loving and patient animals. So every time that the ox would reach the manger and wanted to have his hay, wanted to have his lunch, that many times the dog would go on barking at him, snarling at him, and would not allow him to have his meal. But finally, the ox got upset and spoke firmly. Dog, if you wanted to share my dinner with me, I would not mind it, but you neither eat it nor allow me to enjoy it. So the oxen are usually very patient and very peace-loving animals. But now, with the behavior of the dog, the ox had lost all of his patience. And now he was very irritated and he said, if you want to be sharing my meal, you can have it along with me. But neither are you having it nor are you allowing me to have my meal. Then why don't you let me have my favorite food? Don't begrudge others what you don't enjoy yourself. So when you don't like something, you should not stop the others from having what they have with them. The moral of the story is we should learn to be kind and humble in our nature. In life, there are many circumstances that comes when people or when we get everything that we wanted and we feel very, very proud about it. It is good to be proud, students, but one must also remember that we must remain humble in life, because one of the other day we always need each other. So we must stay humble, stay kind, and be very patient in nature. I hope you have understood the lesson, students. Kindly subscribe to our channel to get further notifications of our channel. Thank you and have a nice day.